Look at this. I got headphones on. I got a mic going. Baby.
If
Huh?
only people could see you now.
Hey, no video. We've gone through this before.
All right,
No
all right,
video.
all right. Welcome to This Commerce Life. This is a podcast aimed at small, medium entrepreneurs focused on commerce. I'm Phil, your host, and Kenny, your co-host, will join us as well. And we're going to talk to you about the world of retail and commerce and how things are changing in the world.
It sounds good. I'm amazed. I've got my camera on without you telling me. I did sound all by myself.
Look at that. New year, new episode.
Crazy shit going on in the kitchen.
Just like that, baby. Just like that.
You better believe it, man. I woke up 2020 wide awake.
You sound all peppy and excited and look rested.
I feel better. Yeah, I'm tired. Oh my God. I don't know what the hell's the matter with me.
Yeah.
It's getting old.
It was a nice layoff.
How was your trip?
Yeah. It was amazing. Yeah. It was really fun. It was really fun.
Kids had a good time?
Yeah. It's different, right? Now that they're a little bit older, you I get to do different things and it's fun, Yeah.
Hey, it's all good, right? What the hell, right?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, we it's kind of like it's so good. It's so good to get away too. And just kind of like there's like 10,000 things I got to do in January now, but it was nice to it was nice to stop, right? It was just we've had.
Did you actually stop?
Yeah, I stopped. I didn't do anything for almost 5 days.
Wow, good for you.
An eternity. Do you know what I mean? Like,
good for you.
It was a long time not to do anything, but it was really good. It was really good.
Wow,
yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it is or not because next week I think I'll be freaking out because there's just so many things to do now.
You know what though? You would have been freaking out anyway for next week. So at least you did the right thing and you took some time.
Maybe.
You don't get back, right?
Yeah.
The time you get the kids is the time you get the kids.
Yeah.
The time you get the family is time to get family.
Families,
it's gone already, right? So
at
the end of the day, if you didn't take it last week, you weren't going to take it next week.
It's gone. Yeah.
So what the hell's the difference, right?
Still, there's a lot to do. I mean,
there's always a lot to do.
Come on. At the beginning of the year, there's stuff you and I got to do. You and I got to do stuff like.
Oh my God! I've got to get organized on that. You got to help me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing on the other thing there. I got to get organized on that.
It's coming so fast.
Holy geez! Like, I booked tickets. I booked my tickets the other day, and I thought, holy shit, man, that's right around the corner.
Yeah, it's getting real.
But they haven't sent hotel information yet.
No, not yet. But they will.
Geez, I and it's funny. So what happens? Like, So I was going to go from here to Orlando. We're talking about Global Pet, right? To do our whatever we're doing.
Yeah. And
then another buddy, because one of my contracts lapsed, right? So I had, I was going to, I guess, pick up, a little bit of time, but one lapses, another one pops up. So now I'm going to New York to Toy Fair before Global Pet. So I'm leaving on the Friday. Okay. I'll be in New York till Tuesday, and then Tuesday I'm flying to Orlando till the Saturday.
Jet setter.
Oh yeah, jet
setter. Look at you.
It's like the old days. A bloody bird again, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I know.
Although, like, again, a lot worse things. A lot worse things.
It could be much worse.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, going to New York. I mean, that's not the best time of the year to go to New York, but totally a nice time to go to New York.
I don't know if there's any terrible times to go to New York.
I just love New York. I really don't care.
Yeah, I'm like that too. I don't really care.
I really like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like New York.
Man.
It's just a great city.
So did you have a good vacation?
I had a very nice vacation. I mean, I did. I think probably very similar to. I worked.
Yeah.
I worked every day. I think the only day I didn't work was probably Christmas Day.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't think that was just for any other reason that I don't know why I didn't work Christmas Day. Probably I was scared I was going to get shit from
because it was Christmas Day, dude.
Yeah, but what's the difference? Between your cooking and you're not really doing much of anything, you're just kind of farting around. I mean, what's the difference?
I don't know, but I think the farting around stuff is good for you, right? helps you recharge a
Yeah,
little.
no, it was all good.
So,
I mean, I
yeah,
wasn't panicked that I didn't get anything
yeah,
done. I mean, it
yeah,
wasn't the end of the world. That's
yeah.
for sure.
But you look more
I
rested.
feel better.
You look
Yeah.
calmer. You look,
Yeah, I mean, it's all
you know,
relative as usual, right? But yeah, I feel better. A
yeah,
little
yeah,
time off,
yeah, yeah,
little R&R,
yeah,
it was all good in the hood.
yeah, yeah,
Got I'm
man.
like you now. I didn't go anywhere like you, but you take some time off, and I'm thinking, shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
well.
man. I gotta tell you, things have started to pick up again on the freelancing side. Like I kind of,
What a surprise.
I never lost all the clients, right? Like I had 2 or 3, right? But I've had 4 or 5 kind of like just show up.
That's awesome. To do what?
Um, all sorts of stuff. I mean, one said to me, you need to teach us how to fish, right? Like we don't understand the digital stuff and we really need to. So come in and do, kind of 10 sessions with us and
That's
just teach
awesome.
us how to fish, right? So there's a little bit of that. There's another group that's like, we need to kind of get our content straight. We need to get optimized. We need to figure out how. So come in and help us do planning. So I'm going to help those guys. There's another group that they are, I don't. This one's a longer shot, but they pitch and they don't have any pitch decks. They don't have anything. Another one of these, right? And they said we need stuff. Like we're pretty sure that we can't keep doing it this way. I said, yeah, you're right. You shouldn't keep doing it that way.
And what the hell? I've got time.
because what the hell, right? Like, so I think I'm going to go help them as well. So we'll see, right? We'll see.
But you notice, like now
Yeah.
too, if it gets overly busy, you've got people now that from here that live in Toronto that can help with some of the
Yeah,
stuff. You can contract
some
some
of it.
stuff
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
can use your bodies around.
yeah, yeah,
What's your days
yeah.
look like now with
With Nimi,
yeah?
it's still full time. Still
What are you
full
doing
time.
though?
So I mean, so right now, I mean, we just got back today, but it's just been building out 2020, right? So you think of all the things I did last year. It was about kind of like getting some order to chaos. So right now I'm building out. I know all the events we're going to run this year. I know, so based on the events, because I'm still one person, right? We haven't fixed that. So I'm still one person. So I'm building a plan for socials and for organic socials and promoted socials based on the events I have throughout the year. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then that kind of fills in all the pieces that I need to be able to do from a content perspective. Do you know what I mean? And then the layer that I'll put on top of that after I'm done with that is, here are the thought leadership pieces that we should be able to do, and
Yeah.
here are the PR pieces that should come out of that. And that'll lay out the plan for the entire year. So once I'm done all that, I guess if there are Nimians that listen to this show, maybe come see me.
You don't want to give too much of a timeline on a podcast, you dumbass.
Well, no, but I think when I'm done all that will be the right time to have a conversation with them to say, hey guys, like I've now laid out the plan. What I do know from the budget and all that kind of stuff is we don't have enough money to add more bodies, but you really could afford to split my role into 2 roles.
Yeah.
Like a brand manager and a content person.
Yeah.
And get rid of me. And then the plan works because I built the plan for the year. And then you need to hire someone who is smart enough to adjust to the plan, and then someone who can follow instructions and fulfill the plan. Do you know?
Yeah, but you could also stick around as an advisor
Yeah.
for the short term too, right? You don't
I
have to
just,
completely jump ship.
I wouldn't jump ship. I just don't think they have the cash, because I built the marketing budget, so I know what the marketing budget looks like. I don't think they have the cash to keep me around. It's probably one of the issues with hiring someone senior is like, when you hire someone senior before you've got, all the Indians in place, there's a chief and no Indians.
Yeah, and the
Get
chief's
a
not
lot
a
of
chief
planning
chief.
done. Yeah, you get a lot of planning done. You get some executional pieces done. But when you're a startup and you need to make gains, you need probably more Indians than you need chiefs, right? So, yeah.
That totally makes sense. But that's part of it anyway. I mean, the
Mhm,
problem is though, and you also, it's a stage of career that we're in too, right? You're a bit
mhm,
older, and unfortunately,
mhm.
you don't want to work at the warrior level. You want to work at the general level.
Um,
At the end of the day, so a lot of it is, the pay
yeah,
is, it's built into the fact that
yeah.
you're getting you get what you pay for. You're senior, and
Well,
I get all that, but at the end of the day, what are they going to do? If they hired a couple juniors,
ironically,
you wouldn't be you would be 20 years behind.
ironically, they are getting senior work, but what they really need is junior work, right? And so,
Exactly.
so
Now they
that's,
do. Now they
yeah,
do.
they will, They're not
Yeah, they
quite
don't need
there.
some
Like
of the
once I
expertise
finish
you
the
have,
plan,
and
yeah,
once it's done, they
yeah,
don't need your level of expertise
correct,
anymore
correct,
to do the
yeah,
work now.
yeah.
The challenge what they're going to have is that it doesn't. It's you don't go on autopilot for 10 years.
No, but I think that I think it's strategic on my part, right? Is one is I've built them a plan that will run them the year. When they start to get funding and they get all those things in place, there's nothing that stops them from calling me back, right? To say, hey, listen, like, you know, this model works. Come back, in
Actually,
December,
be kind of fun to be
November. Yeah,
frankly,
right.
right?
Like, so come back in November and December. We'll
Yeah,
reevaluate, maybe November becomes reevaluating the year.
yeah,
December becomes planning, January becomes executing, right?
yeah,
And
and then
then
back off.
maybe, the gig becomes, hey, you know what? It's totally the right thing to do, but in 2 years, the brand manager that we hired will be ready to take over and then we won't
Right,
need you anymore, right?
right,
Like, um, you know, it's so anyway, I mean, it's going to be a very adult conversation.
right,
When I'm done, then that'll be the conversation we need to have, right? So,
right.
yeah. Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
good in the hood.
So, so that's what it is. If you're a Nimian and you do listen to this, maybe come see me because I'm not ready to have that. Well, they're not ready for me and I'm not ready for them yet.
Well,
Shortly,
and it's
but
not
not
tomorrow
quite.
morning,
But
so I'd like to take a chill pill
yeah,
and
yeah,
just kind
yeah.
of calm it
Yeah,
down,
yeah,
everybody.
yeah. Chill out, chill out. Come see
Right?
me. I'll buy you a
Yeah.
drink. We'll talk about it. So,
Well, hey, at the end of
but
the day, I mean,
no.
it is what it is, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it's like anything in today's world.
Yeah.
You know, we're a lot more open to talk about how we feel and what we think. And it's a podcast. What else are you going to do on it?
Well, I
Just
think,
talk, right? At the end of the day,
yeah.
yeah, don't read too much into it if you're concerned.
But I also think, like, I think I'm just being cognizant because I'm a big fan of planned obsolescence. Like I don't
Totally.
I don't
You
I
never
don't
planned to
plan
be
to
there forever.
hold jobs
It
forever, and
wasn't
I
a job.
don't
That was the whole point.
and I think what makes us us is that we see the end of things and kind of go, look, like I got you to where you want to go, so go, right? And then
Yeah.
if you need more, I'm here, but otherwise, like I don't need to go with you the entire journey. I just need to be with you for the part that I'm good at, right?
Right.
So, you know, yeah, yeah. So it'll be interesting, and then so with all this other stuff, going on, it'll be interesting to see what happens. So, so I
It's
think we're
good,
in for
man.
another, kind of adventurous year. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong
No,
with
no, I
that.
like it. I like it a lot. I like it a
Right.
lot.
All right. Good for you, man.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
sounds like it's kind
yeah,
of fun, right? What the hell?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I yeah, it's been really interesting. I think I was thinking about this podcast because as I'm starting to build out the plan for the year, I was thinking about, and I think this is what I'm going to talk about at Global is what is all that, small stuff we were talking about during the year. Like you think last year through the episodes, we were talking SEO, we did some digital, we did Facebook, we did Instagram, we did how do you plan out LinkedIn? Like how do you schedule all this stuff
Right.
out? And, like now it's really laying itself out for the year, right? Because the year just got easier for me. Do you know what
Right.
I mean? Like, because I was able to fix all these pieces. So now I have a really clear view of what's next and where we want to go with this whole thing. Right.
Right.
And I think that's, it's a big deal. Right. So, yeah. So I was thinking about this podcast thinking, oh, this is what I want to talk about at Global Pet, right? Is like what leads into what, how do you get things moving? How do you build things so that they make, a ton of sense. Right. So, anyway,
I think,
That's what's
yeah,
happening, you know?
I think it's going to be interesting because my feeling is going into Global Pet because these are
Yeah.
all, I mean, there's a lot of independents that are going to this,
Mm-hmm.
whether they have one store or 10 stores, they're pretty much still independents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what you noticed this Christmas. And since the last podcast, I think we talked on the, maybe the 19th or something, right? So
Yeah.
because we did take
Yeah.
Christmas
With
off.
Richard. Yeah.
Oh, Happy New Year, by the way.
Yeah. Happy New Year to you too. And
That
Happy
was
New
only
Year
10
to our
minutes.
listeners.
So Happy New Year, everybody. It's about 10, 15 minutes into a podcast, but it's okay. Really, this is, you know, when people say, oh, you're bullshitting, you plan things. This is clearly evident that we don't plan anything.
Yeah. We clearly
right?
plan to wish you
Happy New
New
Year,
Year
15
10
minutes
minutes
into
into
a
the
podcast.
podcast.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah.
No, I forgot what I was going to tell you.
This season, you're talking about noticing what happened this season.
I don't know what days you went shopping, but Amelia and I were in the store on the 21st. I was in on the 22nd. I did a little stuff on the 23rd, like this all really last minute. I mean, I was done. I had the big purchases all done, etc.
Yeah.
But out of any year in a long time, when I really walked through on those days, which should be a gong show, you know, we got to the mall 15 or 20 minutes, half an hour after opening one of the days, half the parking lot was available. Right?
Yeah.
2 hours later into the mall, you know, Carly and I phone Amelia and say, okay, Mom, you can come to the mall now because we're done. You know, mommy stuff. And then we just do some other stuff. She found parking.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Right. And it's not, and the mall was busy, but it wasn't any worse than September busy.
Ludicrous. Yeah.
Or March busy.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't old school, holy shit, December. Like, you remember those days? I'm not talking like,
no,
you know,
like
just because we're not going to do our dating
or
or something. You remember those days like 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, bonkers days. You know,
like
you can't get parking.
Nothing.
You know,
people are
like
swearing at each
people
other.
are like angry,
mayhem.
fighting over spots. And,
not that.
Yeah.
And I really think online has really taken a chunk out of retail. Now, having said that, I did buy a lot of stuff online, but I bought from a lot of bricks and mortar.
Yeah.
So I did buy some clothing from, you know, not this is, I mean, low end clothing, but I bought some stuff from the Gap. I bought some stuff from RW. I returned some stuff into the store and picked up other things. But it's one of those things. I think what you got to really impress upon a lot of the small people as they're talking, they're digital, is you need to have a nice, clean, looking digital play. Web page needs to look good. And I know nobody uses omni-channel anymore. We don't talk about that. But it's one of those things that I think it's really critical.
It's important.
You need to have a really good feel online. And when I come to the store, you better match that feel.
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of what the experience where people really need to focus on that. You know what I mean? I mean, there is a way to combat online. You just, I guess what we got to try to press upon these little guys, worry about online. Don't worry about Amazon. Just worry about your online.
Yep.
Get your store up to speed.
Yeah, you're right. Like, I mean the experience of, you know, like there's some technical stuff in there. There's you've got to load fast, right? Because nobody wants to wait.
Right.
But it needs to be graphically, you need to be up to date, right? Like you've got to look clean, you've got to look crisp, you've got to look like your brand.
Right.
You don't need to look like everybody else, but you need to look like your brand.
No, but if you're going to be the experts in the world, look like it.
Yeah. I mean,
because you know what's going to happen when I come to you in the store. I know I'm probably going to get pretty good service.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to get you to help me do something well for my pet or whatever.
Yeah.
No different than the natural health side that I deal with on a lot of my other brands, Richard's included.
Yeah.
If you're just going to be another health store, what do I give a shit?
Yeah.
I can get health store. I can go down. I've got Amazon open in front of me right now. I can get all the information I need.
Yeah.
It doesn't make the experience necessarily great.
Yeah.
But I can find it.
Well, I mean, I use that example. So one of the episodes I was raving about Nav K, right? The little Thai handkerchief brand. And I wound up buying from them, and I wound up buying a custom experience because, you know, like my boy, he's such an old soul. He loves hats. He loves you know, kind of classic 1930s 40s hats, right?
Cool,
and he loves suits and he loves ties. You know, like completely the opposite for me,
strange,
right?
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little strange.
Like,
you know,
like these kids, right?
Yeah, I know. You know, and but so I met her at Christmas market. I really liked her and her display. Went online. Her stuff looked exactly the same, and it made me feel like she could help. So I actually bought an experiential from her. So I said to her, I want to, you know, I want my son to come in and design his own tie. You know,
How
like
cool is that,
he's
man?
got colors that he wants, you know, and
He's got a
this
style he
way,
wants, a look that
yeah,
he
you
wants, and
know,
nobody's going to be able to do it
yeah,
for him except
yeah,
him.
yeah, right. And then he'll be able, you know, this is his big year. He graduates from high school. He's going to go to university. And so, you know, I think he's going to wind up designing something that he, you know, he goes to his formal in, you know, like,
Yeah.
so it's kind of cool, right? But you're right. Like all the things you talked about made me do exactly that, was feel confident that NavK was going to be able to help. You know, made me feel like she was going to be able to look after me and get a present that, you know, truly unique, right? And quite simple to, you know, to gift wrap, right? Like I printed a little postcard that said, hey, you're getting, you know, you're getting a
A
custom
custom
tie,
made
and, you know,
tie
custom made tie
that
that you're
you're
going to
going to
design.
custom make. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Right.
pretty
Like
freaking cool.
it was pretty simple, right? Like little
Right.
envelope. You know,
But think about it. But how
super
cool is
amazing. I
that?
had like, who's going to be able to give that,
Well,
right?
you
Like,
can't get that
so,
on
you know,
Amazon,
yeah,
which is the
absolutely
big
not.
thing we're all going to be
Yeah,
freaking out at the show, right? It's
yeah,
because you already know what's going to be.
yeah.
Everybody's going to be complaining about online. My
Mhm.
thing was, and when Amelia and I were walking the malls, like we were talking about, I said, it's not that busy. But then I also said, but okay, but let's look at it from another perspective. So we went into a few stores. So we'll pick on a few big ones. We went into something like Winners,
Mhm.
went into the Bay, like
Mhm.
nothing. We're not talking young people shopping, but you go into
Mhm.
those, look like a fucking bomb head.
Yeah.
And I said, you wonder why? Like if everybody's wondering why at this particular moment in this store as to why people are shopping online, look around you.
Yeah.
Why would you? Why wouldn't you shop online? Then I went into the few stores that I did buy stuff online from,
Mhm.
and the experience I had on the webpage, which again there was no personal touch, etc. But the prices were good.
Mhm.
The return policy was fantastic.
Mhm.
I picked out a bunch of stuff that I wanted. Some things came in. I mean, very little got returned, but
Yep.
it was very simple for me to go back to the bricks
Yeah.
and mortar. Made it
Yeah.
really easy for me.
Yeah.
I went in. I had no issues, no fuss, no muss, and I just in the end got my return and just bought something from the store. But the whole experience felt. I never felt like I didn't. It almost felt like I was in the store all the way through,
Yeah.
as opposed to
Yeah.
this massive disconnect
Yeah.
of a slick web page and you go in, it looks like a bomb hit.
Yeah.
Or you go in, it looks like a bomb hit, and then I have
Uh-huh.
no idea if your web page was slick or not, because I
Yeah.
figure if that's how you manage your store, you think I'm going to
Yeah.
shop your web,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So it's just one of those things. As I was walking, I kind of thought, you can complain about it all day. This internet thing, I think, is going to stick. That's my prediction for 2020. I think the
Yeah.
internet's going to
No,
hold.
it's gonna hold.
I think
It
online
really is.
shopping is
Yeah.
going to hold.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think a bunch more retailers are going to close. How's that for a predictive
But
thinking?
I
You know
think
what I mean?
that
Come on, guys.
I think I think online is going to hold, but I think that the world isn't so straightforward that it's going to be nothing but Amazon, you know,
It'll
Walmart,
only
you
be that
know.
way if retailers allow it to be that way.
Right. Yeah. And I think the rest of the world just needs to, you know, we're going to be out there, right? Like, because the consumer, as they get more online savvy, you know, we've just changed locations, right? Like you
That's
went
it, man.
from
I just went from a store to online.
you went from the local street, right? Like into a shopping mall. Now you're going from a shopping mall to online, right?
Yeah.
But you got to compete with them the same way. Like, you know, when Walmart put up their corner in the mall, some stores went away, but other stores competed, right? They found new ways of doing
Well, they
it.
found different pockets to
You've
play
just
in.
got to be able to do that
Exactly.
online now too, right? You know, so
Right. Or
yeah,
at least
I
use your
agree with you.
online as that
Yeah,
tool.
yeah,
And this is
yeah.
maybe another thing they need to press upon. It's not that you have to sell a ton of stuff
Nope,
online.
nope,
You don't even have to sell, quite frankly,
nope.
anything online. You could do it
You
all
don't.
as an online purchase, come in store to pick up,
Yep,
and maybe a delight him with a nice surprise. Maybe
yep,
the trick is instead of worrying about shipping and all this, yeah, you're not going to get the guy in Nunavut buying from you. I understand that.
yeah,
But the guy, 5 miles from your house might come in, and maybe what you do at that point is offer a $5 gift card to shop in the store once you
yeah,
picked out some of your
yeah.
majors, because it's just trying to alleviate stress and pressure from our world.
Yep.
That's why a lot of us
Agreed.
shop online. It's not because I hate stores.
Yeah, no.
With
Well,
time I don't have, and I'm trying to make life a little easier.
I am trying to make your life easier. I am shopping for the best price, so you got to watch that as well.
Yeah, you got to be careful with it. But again, I bought stuff. I don't
yeah.
know if I got the best price. I don't know if I really cared at that moment. The amount of time I saved was pretty good for me. Then I don't overpay. Like, I'm not paying full pop.
Yeah. No, I.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
want a deal,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm also going to weigh out how much time it's going to take me to,
Yeah.
manage all this shit.
Yeah. When you say, so I have a friend, Steph. I don't know if Steph listens to us or not, but Steph, you just heard Kenny say, so Steph always makes fun of me because I always tell her that, like, when we shop for things, she's a very whimsical buyer. Like, she sees what she wants, she buys it, right? And she's happy to pay full price. And I always tell her that. I go, never pay full price, never. And she always makes fun of me. Like, everywhere we go, like, I'm always like, I'm gonna look first. Like, I'm pretty sure that's not the. And she's like, "Oh my God, Phil never pays full price for anything."
My thing is, I'll walk into the store and Amelia, she goes, "They're not talking to you, are they?" I said, "No, nobody here is trying to communicate with me." And usually, what that means, there's not enough deals going on in here.
Yeah,
they're not really speaking my language yet.
No.
And again, I don't need to rob the place. I have no problem people making money.
Yeah.
I don't want small business to go out.
No.
But I'm not a big fan of, if it's $100 retail.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay $100.
No, I don't.
Like, I don't necessarily pay, I don't have to pay $50.
No.
Like, to be frank with you, sometimes $90, $95, I'd be okay with, depending on what it is and really how bad I want it. I just don't like paying the full pop.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really happy to put money in their pocket, but as a consumer, like a retail savvy consumer, I want to make sure I get value for my money too.
Absolutely.
Right?
So how you determine value.
Yeah.
Maybe it's, maybe if I have to pay full pop for the shirt, but the socks were thrown in.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm good with
or you know what? It's sort of, I think, I don't remember if it was the Gap or whoever, is, you spend $100. No, I think it was Nike. Nike's got no deals, no sales. Fuck, it was insane. Oh my God, I was so mad.
Colin Kaepernick.
But you know what it was?
The Colin Kaepernick effect.
Oh my God. But if you spent $250, they give you $50 off. Right? Okay. The problem with Nike, it's not hard to get to $250. So we look at a jacket for Daniel, right?
Yeah.
$132.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, well, she goes, we're halfway there. I said, I know, let's just go buy a pair of sweatpants. It's probably $132 as well. Before you know it, of course, the sweatpants are $132.
$80 sweatpants. Yeah. You're 100% right.
$250 in, but I got my 50 back. So I paid full pop.
Yeah.
And that was not a huge discount, but he really likes the jacket. It's one of those light one, the way like two ounces, and, he can run in and whatever he does.
Yeah.
But I can't, if there was no deal of something, I couldn't pay full retail for that. That's impossible. And I didn't get a good deal on these at all, but I got a break.
I love it. It's like vindication, man.
Retail.
It's like vindication that you're my people.
Well,
because she makes fun of me all the time. She's
nobody
always
was talking
like,
to me in the store, Phil, until I saw that at least if we spend some, we get some back. It's still not my language. We were speaking, broken English at that point. We understood each other, but not too good.
Some sign, it
was okay. I would have preferred someone who was a little more fluent in the language I like, but that's okay. I was happy. At least they were trying to communicate with me.
Yeah.
But otherwise, right? Honestly, but again, if you're in a pet store, like who we're going to be talking to, think of those things. You can worry about online all day, no problem.
Yeah.
If you want to worry about online all day, that's an interesting use of time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or take a look at what's bothering you and say, okay, how do I compete with this? And your side will be, the communication, how you present yourself. Present yourself as an expert. But have me come in for the consult and give me something to come in.
Yeah.
Right? You come in, spend $100, get $10 back, or whatever it is. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I think that's one thing I just noticed this time at the mall and it's funny, Nike was busy, but there was not one sale price, but it was still busy. And there were people trying to get to the 250 to get the 50 because you already knew you're going to get jammed anyway. You weren't going to find anything in the store under 100, $150 no matter what you did.
Yeah.
Right. You mean you bought a piece of shirt that was like $80.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, sweats were $110, $130. So it wasn't like you were going to come out under anyway. So at that point, they knew the number
Very clever.
that was obscene enough,
Yeah.
but it was attainable, especially this time of year.
Yeah, it's really
and trust
clever.
me, I looked for the
It's
clearance
really
rack to see if I could find the $250 there. There was no
buy
clearance rack.
10 sweats at $20 a pop.
Absolutely,
Oh.
25.
Yeah.
Listen, if I'm committed, I'm going.
I love it, Kenny.
I did look at that, and I did look at some
Yeah.
smaller retailers, and a few smaller ones were sort of doing the same sort of gig. And I thought, well, good on you. I mean, you if you're going to compete, you got to compete.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But there was a few that basically, I mean, I think there's a few places in the mall we went to, and I wasn't too sure. And then I went home and I looked online, and I thought, first off, it didn't match what the store was. Got confusing, and I just went to someone else.
Mm.
And I think you just blew it because you didn't really,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't sell me what I just saw, or I didn't feel that way. And there was a few others. I looked online first. I thought, okay, this is pretty cool. Let me check it out in store. And then I saw, okay, this is a shit show. I don't think these guys are going to be around in 6 months. I ain't buying it here.
Oh my God.
Well, you know what I mean? Like,
no.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm thinking, come on, guys. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
You spent that much time to make the webpage look that good.
Yeah.
At least make the store look good.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Balance out
vice
your
versa.
spend.
If you spent all that time making the store look so good, my God, entice me with the webpage. Fuck.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah, no. I like really similar experiences. Like Ryan. Ryan, my boy, like he worked at David's Tea over the holidays.
That's a nice shopping experience.
Yeah, that was really nice. And dropping off, I really dreaded it, right? Because I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to drop him off, pick him up, and and then like it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as I think the first time I was like, listen, I'm gonna park like 3 blocks that way. So
well, because that's what you thought you'd have to do. Did you have to?
No, I didn't have to.
Exactly.
Like I got all these places.
Isn't that worrisome?
Yeah, it's troubling.
Right.
But I think of mine, like I got the big experiences were done. The girls got Camila Cabello tickets, right?
Nice.
So that was done beginning of December. Ryan's tie was done like when I found them. So that was like second week of December. At that point you're kind of going, okay, I got a handful of things I got to get. A couple of them were electronics, so they were much cheaper on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
And then I did buy stuff from other retailers online, most of it though, like by December, first week of December, right? Just to allow for shipping time and all that kind of stuff, right? Knowing that they're not,
right.
They may struggle with shipping and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Changing world, man. That's why I'm very curious to see what Global Pet's going to be like.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm doing, like I said, Toy Fair the couple of days before that in New York. And I'm just curious to see, because, I've been out of everyday retail for a few years now.
For a few years.
And I'm kind of curious to see, like, okay, like, where's it?
Yeah.
Like, where's it at today? I mean, I know what natural health looks like.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And you and I have talked about that as well, is that's an industry that really needs to be careful.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you lose the whole expertise that you've claimed to have had for years,
you got problems.
It's commodity, baby. I'm sorry. I don't.
Yeah.
Don't matter to me where I buy the same bottle. The bottle's the bottle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You better give me something more than just high prices and the promise of expertise.
Yeah.
You better damn well deliver.
Yeah.
And I think Pet's probably getting pretty close to that. I told you, it's a superstore now. It's got Pet as soon as you walk in, right after produce. So someone's done the numbers and figured out that, holy shit, man, there's a lot of pet people in the country.
Fastest growing category,
exactly,
in the market.
But how does that rally well for the independent? Because I just bought my lettuce, tomatoes, my shampoo, and my cereal. Pretty convenient, no?
So, yes and no. The only thing is, I think that while mainstream's figuring it out, they're going to struggle.
They can't do anything niche.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to struggle because it's kind of like cereal, right? Like they're going to struggle with, like, okay, here are the big brands that, the Blue Ribbons and all these folks that need to be in there. But what do I do with raw? What do I do with, chia seeds, or like all of those, like
Yeah.
the non-filler, like they're not going to be able to do those. So I think that independents need to figure that stuff out and then figure out their positions there.
But again, that's when you have to be,
Yeah.
you need to give me a compelling reason. Now,
Yeah.
for my pet people typically have no problem spending the money.
Mm-hmm.
So give them a reason to spend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have that store looking
Yeah.
clean, have the webpage looking
Yeah.
clean, and tell me why
Yeah.
I should go
Yeah.
see Phil to feed Buffy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the part that, honestly, I don't know how grocery stores feel about this. Most of them don't really let dogs into the stores or anything like that, right? So I think
We're not going to anytime soon.
Yeah, so I think indies have a real advantage because they can play. It's kind of like like indie toy stores, right?
Right.
They can play right to the end customer, and it's like kids and dogs are synonymous, right? You please the kid and the parent loses their mind, right? They'll do anything.
But you got to be cognizant of
so,
that.
Yeah,
just because you allow a pet in your store doesn't mean it makes it a pet friendly store.
No.
Right?
You've got to do the right things, right? And
we were talking about this with the coffee bar. Just put a bottle of a thing of water.
Yeah.
Right. We were talking about with the bar. We're talking about maybe we should look at a little directional change for the daytime, and there's a big need in our part of the world here, probably for more kid friendly coffee bars and
hangout spots,
things like that, like hangout spots. But that doesn't mean you just put a sign on the door saying welcome pets, welcome kids, right? Your whole feel has to be good for that. You need to look at the safety aspects. Does it actually lend well? Are the sharp corners all unsharpened, right? Are you going to have people in the back on laptops trying to work and getting agitated with a bunch of kids screaming, or a bunch of dogs barking, or whatever it is? Like, you got to be cognizant of those things. So you got to really think it through. Like, and I agree with you. I think that's where pet stores can win. You bring in the pet and it doesn't look well. I mean, a lot of these pet people do have the expertise. They're not vets by any stretch, but they'll look and they see things. They've seen so much, right? They'll look and say, you really should take in the vet. I think it's this, or, whatever you're going to talk to them about, they're lethargic. Well, have you tried this? Like, you can't get that shit online, buddy.
Look at their coat. It looks kind of dull, not shiny. I can't tell, but
nor can I. But that's fine. I don't want to tell. That's why I got. That's why I go to experts.
But I'm not an expert. So
right. And I don't want to go to the vet, and I'm not going to get that information on Google.
Yeah. I agree.
Or if I do on Google, who the hell am I getting it from?
Well, if I find it on Google, how do I even understand what it means, right? Like, it's just anyway. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree with you. Anyway, that's just one thing I know. I don't know. That's Christmas. I know it. I thought, wow, retail's really got to get their shit together and pretty fast.
Yeah, they do.
Because it's going to get ugly. We just started, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm reading a book called Digital Minimalism.
Okay.
Right. It's about trying to, I think, learning how to live without
things
and the amount of media and shit that hits us. I just started last night.
That's interesting.
I you know what it is? I think I'm spending way too much time. I know I'm spending way too much time on the phone and on the laptop. And on the laptop, if I'm working, I'm working. But checking LinkedIn, checking every email, every time. I mean, honestly, that's really complete distraction. And this is today. It was Jan 2nd, so today I started, and I am not at one of the clients today.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I haven't looked at emails.
Awesome.
Actually, any of the clients outside of the one I was with today.
Awesome.
That's it. And I'm not there tomorrow. And it's the same thing. Yeah. I understand that, but who does that? It's good to talk about it, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of bouncing around like a freaking yo-yo. Trying to please everybody all the time, every minute, and I can't do it, right?
I've actually had to use some of my buyer skills. You think do you remember how many emails you got as a buyer?
Yeah.
Like, I think I got 300 a day.
Because I had so many categories at one point. I was probably up to
Yeah.
almost
Well, I mean,
yeah,
you
500,
you had
600, 700 a
yeah,
day
because
on
you had
bad
80
days.
stores, right? You had 80
This is
stores,
ridiculous.
and
And
then
then
you
every
you
vendor,
had
and then
like
all the
500,
internal
600
shit.
vendors,
I used to think
a
seriously.
category, right? Like
Ah,
and so like my inbox at Nimi is like 1,400 emails in it, right? That I haven't read. And somebody saw that and went, "What the?" And I was like, "Look, I just can't.
but the goal shouldn't be to get to zero.
No, no,
You're
no.
wasting time. I've got 850
Well,
at one place unread.
yeah, and at one point I was like, "Oh my god, I've got these. This is
I don't
stressing me
care.
out." And now I'm like, I don't. Yeah, you know,
Because a
it,
lot of
it's
times it's just noise,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you could spend 4 hours a day getting into your email box to zero. That's great. What'd you accomplish?
yeah, yeah. Not a whole lot. Not a
What
whole
did you
lot.
do by that?
It's funny. So I have a it's a funny story in a not so funny situation. So my father-in-law is in the hospital. He's kind of got a weird heart arrhythmia going on, right? So he's got a really
Is this
weird
recent?
yeah, he's in we spent most of the day day at the hospital
Oh,
yesterday,
well, that's
and
not
today
good.
as well. No, it's not great. There's sorting it out, but um last night we were in there. We were in emerge still before they got him into the right unit, and the nurse who was helping out, was loading an IV bag of medication he needed, and they were just like, they had him hooked up to the heart monitor. They had all these like monitors going, and they were all going like it was like Christmas Day, like it was like bing, bing, boo, beep, 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 and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, right? But he was just like, and I said to him, when you're not working, do you have any bells at home, or you've got like a total? And he goes, you know what? He goes, when I first started working, absolutely. Now I don't even hear them. Like I got things
That's
I got to
funny.
do, and I do them in the right order. And I was like, this place is lit up like a toy store. Like, how can you not?
I
And he
mean,
was like, I don't hear it anymore. Like, doesn't none of it means anything to me because I know exactly what I'm looking for and what and then he said the weird thing is like out of all of this I will hear the bell that I really need to hear like three rooms over, right? Because you're just like your
because that's the one you're listening
brain,
for.
yeah, because
Your
your
brain just
brain
knows
tunes
that's
to
the
the right
important
one.
bell.
Yeah.
But that's siphoning through a lot of freaking clutter.
It's I was super impressed, right? Like I was just like, look, I'm not sucking up because you're looking after my father-in-law, but thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
But seriously, man, like this is impressive. Like these are skills. I got to figure out how to do this. Like,
I think
you
if you
know,
start reading the book that I'm going to hopefully get through the next week, I think it
yeah.
probably tells you got to get away from the noises.
But
Can't just
so
you can't just. I think it's almost one of those. I think you got to learn how to disconnect.
so digitally though, I have a lot going. Like I've got Nimi's social accounts. So I've got LinkedIn and Twitter for Nimi. I've got my own LinkedIn, my own Twitter. I've got this Commerce Life Twitter. I've got my own Instagram. I've also got this Commerce Life Instagram, and then two clients I'm working with, I still have their Facebooks hooked up to me.
Hmm.
So what is that, like
Enough.
12
10, 12.
social accounts of some sort? Um, but I'm not. Do you know what I mean? Like
I totally know what you mean.
I don't check it. Like it's kind of like I'd like to think I was like that nurse, right? Like I haven't really the bells are going off and everything, but I don't really,
I think what it is, though,
like
I think where this book is probably going to go is going to be sort of like this. So, I on my phone, I took off the Twitter app. I've
okay,
taken off the Facebook app.
okay,
I probably should take the Instagram app off.
well,
Right? It's
okay,
hard.
yeah,
I
okay,
enjoy
yeah,
my
yeah,
pictures,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But it's
yeah,
just think of the distraction that it
yeah, yeah,
provides.
yeah,
My LinkedIn app, I should probably move further down on the pages again. And what it's trying to do, because I don't need to be in them the 10
no,
or
not
15
all the
times a day
time,
that I
no,
probably am. And it's
yeah,
not,
yeah,
I don't even
yeah,
try to. It's just it's sometimes, I don't know if it's boredom or if it's just, it's, it's, it's just like we're just wired to check. But what am I checking for? So now, you know what I do? I check Facebook. I check Facebook once a week or so on when I'm on the laptop.
Yeah.
And usually I just go in just so that I can get the little bell that says how many just so I get it to zero. Because all I have to do is click on it, look at it without even reading, and it's zeroed.
Yeah.
But I don't look at it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to say on some of these things, do I really need to be in these?
Yeah.
I don't mind. I don't want to shut it off completely. And I don't know if that's possible or not. But I got my Twitter's not on my phone anymore. And Facebook isn't. And I know that has probably cut the time in half. If I got rid of LinkedIn and got rid of
clutter
Instagram,
is clutter, right? Like, it's kind of like junk mail, right? You don't need it, right? And you're not going to miss it. So I think, but
yeah. Do you ever read your junk mails? I just go right to delete.
No, yeah, delete. Don't even.
And I'll tell you how if you want to get from 1400 to 0,
yeah,
Control A.
Yeah.
And then delete.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I've done that before, and then I actually find that becomes a distraction, right? Because then the number becomes 0, and then you're like, and then something in me, the competitive part of me goes, oh, well, I had it at 0. I'm going to get it back to 0, right? No, you dumbass,
no,
right?
You
so this way, now I can go, well,
I don't care.
Who the fuck cares,
who
right?
Cares, right? You really need me, you'll find me.
I got 1,400. Like, really? What's the difference between 800, 1,400, 2,000? I'm not reading them, so
not reading them anyway.
Just leaving them, right? So, but if I get to 0, I'll actually want to try and keep it there, right? It's kind of like having a clean desk, right?
Right.
So,
But what are you doing it for, right?
Yeah, no, and that's exactly my point.
So
that's why 1,400 makes no difference, right? So I leave it there because, it just.
And I think that's sort of what the book's probably starting to get at is, what are you checking your social media accounts for? Are you checking to see if people like you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you're checking to what? If you're checking, I guess, to find out
if you've
news,
got purpose.
But most of us, there's zero purpose. Just so you know, clearly.
Yeah.
Most of us, it is truly. It's just habit now. It's almost like a quasi addiction. Like you're checking for what? To see someone liked your picture, maybe, or to see if someone liked your post.
So this Commerce Life, I don't check. I see the notifications. That's actually enough, right? Like the only thing I'm looking for is if someone is interacting with us, right? Then I'll want to go in there. But the comment or the little notification is enough for me to figure that out, right? So I don't actually go in there. My own Instagram, I have people that I talk to that way. It's a communication medium. So I will check it because I do get those, right? Like I get someone who's actually like, hey, what's going on? We're actually having a conversation in there.
Via pictures?
Facebook. Well, because Instagram's got its own messaging app, right?
Yeah, once you text. One less app.
Yeah, it's just how they choose to interact with me. That's
Fair
all. And then who else? The other ones, like the client ones, I look because I want to know what's happening with them. But again, I don't check it all the time. And then usually I'm like, I'm trying to give them feedback on what they're doing. I'm sorting through my phone to see what else I do. I think Facebook is the one that's like chewing gum.
This is the one I deleted first.
Because I don't, although Facebook Marketplace is really useful because if you're buying stuff.
That's just fun.
Well, if you're buying
are you
stuff,
looking? Are you just looking to find stuff to buy, or are you purposely looking to buy?
No,
stuff?
I was looking for skis, like for the kids, right? Use skis, so that like really useful.
Okay.
And then the kids really want to adopt a dog, so now we've got all these. I'm part of all these.
That, eh? That's such a.
We're really doing it, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. So,
second opinion. Not for me.
Thank God Kathy doesn't listen. Kathy's kind of like, I think the kids have just worn her down. So now she's like, whatever.
Just do it.
Whatever. Like, but so I check the dogs for adoption or rehoming Facebook groups that I'm in. So that's the only reason I check that. And then sometimes people like some people like to talk to me through Facebook Messenger as well. So that's the other.
But I have Messenger as an app, right? Same reason.
Yeah,
I have friends that actually, because they're away, they're in Europe or whatever, or in Asia, that WhatsApp, and because it's free.
Yeah,
that is truly, to me, it's just texting.
Yeah. Well, the communication mediums are, I've got Slack going. I've got 3 channels of Slack. I've got WhatsApp. I've got Messenger. I've got Instagram messages. I'm using something called Intercom, which is like Slack, and then text.
Yes, you got
it's
too much shit going on. I'm going to cut back. I'm going to read this book, and I'm going to change my world. That's what
I
I'm
like
do.
it. I like it. I like
I'm
it.
just going to do it, and I'm going to see where it goes. I have survived without Facebook and Twitter on my phone.
Nice.
And I just found it, honestly, it's just, I was just spending, it's, even if I was looking at news, which is great, but really, again, it becomes like the CNN thing. You know, when Trump first got in and we were all watching just way too much.
Yeah,
that's the problem with it. What are you doing with your time? So now, you know what?
You know,
I mean, if it's
just
on,
a whole level
it's
of
on.
Toxic. Yeah.
But you know what I mean, though?
Yeah. Yeah. So Twitter, the only thing that I do with Twitter is I use it to search for trending news. Like, so we were at South Beach and there was a shark attack at the like farthest south end of South Beach. So nowhere close to where we were, but I knew it because I saw like 6 police cars, a fire truck, a ambulance, the Coast Guard, the helicopter go by, go like roaring down the strip, right? But the only place that I was able to find it was on Twitter. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it's a breaking news, but otherwise I don't follow, like I don't, like I don't track anybody, I don't follow anybody, like I just don't, because, I just don't, like I can't. Yeah. So interesting. Man.
Yeah, I get it. Man. I get it.
Sir,
if I get this book read, I'll give you some more digital minimalism next week.
So digital minimalism, and who's
we have Lori next week, don't we?
I don't know, actually. Is Lori back from Hawaii yet? Lori, tell us if you're back from Hawaii.
I think mentally she's back, and we probably should know that, shouldn't we?
Mentally and physically. I don't know if
I'm pretty sure she's back. I've seen pictures because Lori's on Instagram, so I check her Lori out.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I feel like Lori just might be
with Lori next week.
I'm afraid. I'm always afraid. I'm
always. You know what it is now? I check her out ahead of time just to make sure that I know what we might talk about. Because I am learning to be more prepared when we're going to do Lori stuff.
Oh my God.
And that's fear, my friend.
Oh, I'll reach out. I'll find out from her what's going on.
Yeah, let Lou figure it out.
Yeah, for next week.
And let me know so I can get read up and polished and ready to go.
Wait. So tell me so I can put it in the notes. So digital minimalism, and who's that by?
I cannot remember who it's by.
I'll find out for you.
Digital minimalism. It's a new book. It was released, I think, in the early 2019.
Goodreads.
Yellow cover.
Did you know that Goodreads is owned by Amazon?
I did not know that, although that makes a shitload of sense now that you say that.
Digital minimalism, choosing a focused life in a noisy world.
That's it.
And it's by Cal Newport. So CAL and then second word Newport, NEWPORT.
And it's one of those ones like the Bill Gates and all these people say this is something that, you should read.
Mm-hmm.
One of those, to read in this year kind of thing. So,
okay.
So I went out and bought about 8 or 9 books on Amazon the last month.
Yeah.
Just to sort of get some stuff we can take to Mexico and wherever
we're. Funny enough, I was looking for stuff to read and I realized that like I'm a huge Tom Clancy fan.
Love Tom Clancy.
I missed something like 6 books that he's written.
I probably missed at least that.
I think I finished A Clear and Present Danger, and there's easily 6 or 7 books after that.
Oh my God, that's way back. He did a whole series behind. Sort of in the middle there that I haven't read. I read all like sort of the Jack Ryans.
Yeah, I hadn't read any of them.
You watched it, by the way, on Netflix?
Yes, it's wicked.
Oh my God, is that not wicked?
It is wicked.
I think we've talked about that.
Yeah.
That we didn't think he fit the role, and he fit the role.
Yeah, no,
he's a perfect Jack Ryan.
Yeah, he's really good.
I really like it.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. But anyway, so I started reading Jack Ryan so I literally did nothing. Like I didn't even enrich my mind. I freed my mind. I read junk.
That's not junk. Tom Clancy's pretty. Tom Clancy was a good writer,
but it's still
I really enjoyed
still fictional.
Yeah, I get it.
Nothing.
I've tried to do the opposite. The last 8 or 9 books that I've just bought are all like this. I bought Digital Minimalism, How to Manage People Better.
Yeah.
I don't know, 9 Myths About Work or something. Like I went, you know what I did? I went through like sort of who's saying, or these are the top books of the year. Well,
Lori,
no.
he's
Hey.
coming after you, Lori.
Oh no!
I just
kidding. Why even bother? That is got to be the stupidest thing you said in 106 podcasts. Like really? Oh my god! Give your head a
the
shake.
games have begun. I'm just trying to make sure that Lori's cast her eye on you and not me.
You're just scared shitless because your time is coming. That's what your problem is.
That's 100% true. But
what a jam tart you are. Man up, be like I did. I stood up to the fear of Lori.
Well, she caught me the first time. I didn't even know she was talking about me. So,
Oh my god, you chicken shit.
Lori, do you see how he's picking on me? I think this is something we should talk about. Anyway,
I was going to say you man up, but you're not about to say that anymore either. People up.
People up. Oh, that's weird, but okay.
Sounds good.
All right, young man.
Okay, my friend, you have a great evening and a nice weekend, and we'll chat with you next week.
Yeah, you got it. I'm gonna send you some stuff. I'm gonna sketch out.
Send me some ideas on just the format of what you've done, so I know kind of what I'm looking at. And I'll try to figure out what I'm going to talk about.
You got it.
Sounds good.
All right, ciao, buddy.
My friend. Chat soon, Judd.
Take care.
Ciao.
Bye. All right, that's the end of this Commerce Life. We'll be back soon with the next episode. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. Give us feedback. Tell us what you think. Subscribe, like us, join us, share us, tell your friends about us. And we hope to see you next time with more commerce news.